The coach is here at ZinnyMe, and today we're talking about social media. Yesterday was our first day of business school bootcamp for therapists, and while we were doing that, we ended up deciding to try having our wind down chat where I come in at the end of the day, kind of recap what we've covered, what's really important, just kind of check in and lift people's spirits before we move into the next day. We've decided to do it on Instagram Live. Now, I really try to show up how I show up in my business, how I show up in life. I'm not always like got makeup. I'm just not that person who's dressed up or any of that kind of stuff, and keeping it real here. Yes, real. And why do we do that? We do that because we want to teach our clients to be themselves, to not have to feel like they have to ascribe to any kind of standard in order to be visible in this world. And that's what social media is really about. Now, if you have a full practice, you may be thinking, I don't want to do social media. Even if you didn't have a full practice, you may not want to do social media. Social media is not a requirement for you to be successful in your practice. But here are some things that I do love about it. Yesterday was World Mental Health Awareness Day, and people across the world were talking about their mental health. What a beautiful opportunity for us to step in and educate, to speak to our own stories as well, because that reduces stigma. And I do believe that the access to information is something that is reducing stigma, and that we as clinicians can be a part of that conversation. And that is what is cool about social media. Can you do that in other places? Sure, but not at the level you can in social media because of the access issues, right? If you're doing in person, it's limited to the people in front of you, that sort of thing. So when people start using it, sometimes they feel like they have to do all the things. And I could be on TikTok and I could do like other places, but right now I'm trying to figure out one thing, and that's Instagram. And you may have noticed I've been doing a lot of reels, and Miranda's participating too whenever I get a chance to film her. And it really is for me a form of creativity and play. And then I get to see what works and what doesn't. And I'm not so attached to an outcome. So when social media becomes like, oh, this is what's going to save my practice, anytime one thing becomes the thing to save your practice, that's a red flag of, we're going to head out into some dangerous thinking, okay? But social media as a form to play and express yourself and discover how you feel about using the platform, that's where you want to start. When you come to social media, you want to understand, what's the transformation I'm providing on this platform? Is it education, inspiration? It's not just sell a slot to a client. This is really more about having your voice and your mission heard. What is the story that you are here to teach the world? Then you want to know who those clients are that need to hear that story. Who are those people? And then you want to find the platform that's right for it. There's lots of places that therapists hang out. Believe it or not, our top social media platform is Pinterest. Not Instagram, not Facebook, it's Pinterest. Why? Because a lot of you therapists are out there looking at download sheets and resources and ways to really, enhance the clinical work. And while you're in there, you're pinning stuff about how to reorganize your pantry and building ideas and art ideas and game ideas and all these other things. And so Pinterest is our top one. We know therapists are there a lot. But for you as a clinician, hey, psychologist and stepmom coach, for you as a clinician, you want to be thinking about, where does that ideal client of mine hang out? And then you want to look at, how can you bring that message in a way that allows you to be seen in your full voice and your full presence, so that other people who come upon you are attracted to those ideal clients. So I just want to be transparent. We moved this wind down call over to Instagram Live. It's going to help hopefully build our Instagram following. It's going to bring our community onto Instagram to help people connect that way. And it's also allowing people who haven't really been on that platform to, hey, Tanisha, to check it out and to see how they feel about it and see if they're comfortable with it. It is an opportunity for all of us to engage in a form of play and exploration and curiosity. And I think that's what a lot of new things in your practice should be about. More curiosity, a little bit more fun. Life is hard enough right now. We don't need to be adding stuff just out of drudgery or because we should. We should be doing it because it is an outlet for us, that it also gives back to us as much as we give it. And so I want you to be thinking about that when it comes to social media. Where do you hang out? Is that where you want to be? Does it feed you? And is it a great opportunity for you to meet the people that you want in your practice or whatever it is that you do? So another little story. I hate Facebook. I don't use that word very often, but it is a platform that is not for me. I find the way communication flows there, the way people engage in things, the docking and all sorts of behaviors that I can see there is just, I don't know, it's just not for me. And so that's why I've been in Instagram a lot more. So, but for some of you, you're going to love Facebook and doing Facebook Lives and hanging out there. Now, this is totally streaming on Facebook because I do want to meet people where they're at, but I'm doing it via Instagram because that is the platform that I enjoy. And I am not going to be doing stuff that I hate to do because I think that energy will be transmitted in the social media posting and the things that I do. So if I want to show up fully and enjoy it, then those clients are going to enjoy it, be attracted to it, and that's a win-win. I do really think that we can support each other as clinicians on platforms as well by sharing each other's information, by doing collaborations, guest posting, account takeovers. There's so many cool things that we'll be talking about in bootcamp next week around this. And I will be doing more lives this week if you want to see what we do in our bootcamp wind down sessions. I encourage you. You're welcome to attend. Just to see how we do community, how we connect with each other, and how we keep it real. And that is the biggest thing here I want to encourage you to do. Do what is right for you. If social media isn't it, that's okay. If you want to do it, great. Do it authentically. Show up as yourself. Because why? We want clients to know what they're going to get when they come through the door or through the Zoom call. We want them to not be surprised at like, oh, you seem so different. No, that trust building, that informed consent starts with our marketing. We are saying, here, this is what I'm about. This is what I do. This is how I help. That is the initial point of trust that we are establishing. And we're giving people through our education the confidence to make the first phone call. Calling a therapist is not always easy. I don't love it. How many of you really love finding a new therapist? It's like fun for you. Anybody here love it? Okay, yeah, no. So what are we doing on social media? We are making the door wider and easier to walk through for people. You are also partaking in reducing mental health stigma. You are adding to the voices to connect people with their inner well-being and to encourage them to get help, whether it's with you or not. And your voice is needed. The value of diversity in our field is not just so that we look diverse. It is because we need your voice. We need your story. We need you to show up because other clients can be like, oh, that's me. I connect with that. I connect with their mission. I connect with what they're saying. Oh my gosh, they're like in my head. Are they living my life? What a gift to be vulnerable, to be open and honest with our social media so that other people can say, I connect. I am not alone. I want more of this. That's what we want, right? So I would love for you all to post, where are you hanging out personally in your social media? And where do you hang out in your business? Tanisha says, I get that a lot from my clients. They think I'm magic. I bet they do, because I love how you show up, Tanisha. Really, truly. You show up as you. I have a sense of who you are, and we've never met in person. I don't think we have. That's what I want for all of our clients. That's what I want for us. Okay, so Instagram, I'm seeing Instagram is one of the places. We're also on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube right now. So I'm also looking at other places that people are posting. See, I hang out on Instagram, so I play in Instagram. Maybe one day I'll move over to TikTok. I don't know. But I'm not trying to do all the things. I'm trying to do the thing well, right? A thing well is better than many things half done. It's way less stressful. We have to reduce as much stress as possible. And if some of you are like, I don't even want to do the social media, I just want to be a lurker and look at my feed, that's fine. But you have to ask yourself, how am I going to be seen? If it's not on social media, it's got to be elsewhere. And how is my voice going to be added to the conversation? Your voice needs to be added to the conversation. Tanisha does personal Facebook and professional Instagram. That's cool. Interesting. I like how you have it separate. That's good. I will also say I have stopped posting pictures much of my child and things like that, just because of privacy and stuff. But Miranda and I were talking yesterday too about, like, how can we be more vulnerable? And that's what we're going to be working on in our newsletters and in our social media, because I think it's helpful. So if you want to do social media and you want to do it with ease, again, you're going to what? You're going to figure out what's the transformation you want to provide. What is your mission here on whatever platform you're on? How do you want to show up authentically as you? And then you're going to look at some tools to make it a little easier. You can do automations. You can use, posting tools and things like that. You can do a content calendar so you can lay things out, So I'm going to do a reel today. This week's theme is all about making reels and showing up in social media. So I'm going to make some reels around that. And I have themes each week, to play with. I want ease for each of you. So again, social media is one of the ways. It's not the only way, but it is a great opportunity to try it out, see if it feeds you a little, that you enjoy it, and that it reaches the people who need you most. So, Tanisha, showing my face stresses me out. Well, I kind of wonder, though, if people love seeing your face. So what do you need in order to love this thing? Miranda's kind of the same way. I don't mind saying that about her. She's always like, can you get this angle? And I'm just like, whatever, just take the photo. I do. I hear you. I know it's a thing. And maybe that's something we can talk about too, of like, why is it that so many people love your face and you hate it? What is happening there? What is internalized there about how could you soften with some compassion for yourself and see the beauty that everybody sees, the wisdom that comes out of your mouth, the expertise that you have, the expressions that you hold that convey your heart? How can you fall more in love with you? It's not about vanity, right? It's just really about being okay with who you are. I don't totally love my face. I definitely hate hearing my voice, though. So it's getting comfortable with ourselves. And I think getting over that fear of being judged. You will be judged. We make judgments all day long. You judge people, That person's a slow driver. That person's this person's that, but we don't want it for ourselves. Well, it's going to happen. And yet, pay attention to who matters most. Whose opinion really matters here. Because we give too much power to too many people, we're going to be really drained. And when we are on social media, it's really important to remember that with our boundaries. I'm not saying put everything out there in terms of your vulnerability. There's boundaries around it. And when you are operating on social media for your business, it is within the mission to serve others. So anything we share, just like what we share with our clients, it's in service of others, right? And Tanisha, what a gift for you to be in service of others, to show up. It is not a safe place. And so that's the other thing too that we talk about in boot camp is very different for a woman of color, an immigrant, a queer person, anyone from any marginalized group to be visible. So on social media, how can you do that and create safety? And there are some things I believe you can do in terms of your marketing to attract people who value who you are and seek to protect those parts. And I think you can keep your face hidden to a degree. But I think for you, Tanisha, maybe where it's at is that at least you show up on your website so that when people come to your website, they connect with you. And then maybe your social media is posts and you do other things to kind of not have your face shown. Maybe you do voiceover talking while you're like looking at an image, kind of thing in your reels. That's fine. But I do think on your website, that's where people really want to connect with you. And I think if we can make sure that you feel safe there and create a space for you to show up, that's important. So there's a lot to consider. And like I said, social media isn't for everybody. And I would say I do prefer to be in the background as well. I just don't think about it. Because if I think about it too much, I will get in my head and then I'll be like, oh my gosh, how many people have seen this? Oh my goodness. I had a reel, I know for some people it's nothing, but for us it was like 19,000 views. And I was like, I can't think about that. I can't, but I am on a mission to help therapists. I'm on a mission to help your colleagues and you do better for yourselves, for your futures, and for your clients. And social media is one of the ways to do that, but it's not the end all be all. So I'll be doing lives every night. Well, not every night, but most nights for boot camp these next 2 weeks. But we would love to connect with you on social media. Tag us in a post, say hello, send us a DM. I don't know, follow us, whatever. We'd love to connect with you. And we'd love to support you in building a practice that you love. All right? So join us on Instagram. We'll see you in some lives there. And I hope you have a wonderful Monday. Thanks for being here.